What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Still doing 3 videos a week on this channel, so definitely appreciate you hitting the subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those future videos. So we got another new bait release for you. This is something that I am super excited about to finally get into your guys' hands. You know, this is a bait that I've had for a little while. I've really kind of been playing around with this bait really since the summer, since iCast is when this bait launched. And it is an extremely versatile minnow style bait. I've been calling it a utility style minnow because there's so many uses for it, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about here today. I'm going to show you a few of my favorite uses and just hopefully educate you guys on this brand new bait that just come out from Yamamoto. They're finally in stock right now, so if you guys want to check out any of these baits, Fish USA has them in stock right now, so you can head over to Fish USA and pick yourself up some of the brand new fat shad-shaped worm. So we're going to dive in, talk all about the fat shad-shaped worm, brand new from Yamamoto. So if you guys know me or have followed the channel for a while, you know one of my favorite baits for drop shot and for smallmouth, even for largemouth, is the regular shad-shaped worm, the 3.75 inch shad-shaped worm. It's an excellent drop shot bait if you're nose hooking for smallmouth. You could even thread a hook on there and you know, catch some big largemouth. There is that's one of the most fish catching baits that I've ever used. And I was super excited to hear that Yamamoto was making a bigger version of the shad-shaped worm. So this is the 4-inch fat shad-shaped worm. So it's got that same profile, the rounded belly back to a pintail, but everything is just kind of scaled up. It's a little bit thicker, fatter. Everything's just a little bit bigger profile of that. But I love that shape of that bait right there, and it makes it extremely versatile. Like I said, this has been a bait that I've been playing with here for the last few months, and it catches a lot of fish. I am really excited about this bait. This is going to be a staple in my boat all throughout the year. So let me just show you a few of the ways that you can rig this bait, and you know how I've actually caught some fish on this bait throughout the summer. So I would say probably the most popular right now is obviously the jig head minnow. So you can put this bait on your standard ball head jig head. He fits on there well. This bait rolls extremely well due to the big flat sides there. Really helps this bait roll. And that little pintail back there, I mean, it's dancing around like crazy. So that's probably how I've caught the most fish with this bait, just because it's such an excellent way to present a minnow style bait, and that profile of the shad-shaped worm. Really impressed with this bait on just a jig head minnow. Now, moving down the line, another great option for this bait is gonna be a chatterbait trailer. So it kind of bulks up your chatterbait on the back of there, but you can see that tail just dancing around like crazy. It non-stop movement, and it gives it, like I said, those big flat sides on there really help this bait dance and actually hunt a little bit, because it's such a you know, a big flat side on your trailer really gives that surface area to kind of let this bait dance around, dart around. So I really love this bait because it's so versatile. It's something that you can have, you know, 6 packs of these in the boat, and you're going to be covered for a variety of techniques. And that's what I always look for in a bait. You know, I'm looking for things that I can have multiple uses for. I can maximize the space in my boat, my storage in my boat, with baits that I could use on a jig head minnow. I could use as a chatterbait trailer. I can put them on a drop shot like this right here. You know, you can thread a drop shot hook on there into the minnow just like that. It's an excellent little I mean, it's a pretty big profile drop shot bait considering some of the other stuff we've thrown. But that right there, excellent way to catch them. You know, when that drop shot weight hits the bottom, that bait is going to be dancing and darting around right there. So that's another excellent way that I've caught some fish. I actually caught some pretty big smallmouth on him this year. You know, another option that I caught some fish when the fish were on ledges is this fat shad shape makes an excellent scrounger bait. It's got that perfect flat sides, that pintail. That's what I'm looking for in a scrounger bait right here, is a minnow style bait just like this. And this fat shad shape has really performed for me on the back of a scrounger head. I mean, a couple more options that I've thrown this bait and have caught some fish. Obviously, you know, throwing it like a, not obviously, here we are, like a soft plastic jerkbait. So instead of say a fluke or a D-shad, something like that, I've tried, you know, this one, I've got a scamper rig rigged up in there, and he has that same vibrating action, that tail kicks, and really looks like that, you know, minnow trying to get away. And then this one is just rigged, you know, just weightless with an EWG style hook right there. So you can throw and just twitch him along the surface, but it's that perfect profile. You know, that's something that I'm always looking for in the baits that I choose, is the profile of the forage that the bass are eating. And you know, a lot of times, you know, most soft plastic baits are going to be long and skinny or thinner and not have that big pronounced flat side that a lot of those shad kind of get. You know, they're more round than they are long and skinny, and that's exactly what this bait imitates right here. So that's two more ways. You know, you can throw this for schooling fish or just over top of grass in the cover. You know, this is, man, like I said, this bait is extremely versatile, and the options are endless. Let's be real. There are so many ways you can rig this bait. And you can put it on anything you want. You could put it on the back of a swim jig if you wanted, Carolina rig. I mean, it is an extremely versatile bait, and that's why I've called it a utility minnow, because it's something that gets a lot of uses. There are so many ways you can use the fat shad-shaped worm, and I'm excited they're finally available for you guys to purchase and get out there on the water and use. So another cool feature that I really like about the fat shad-shaped worm, and really all of the new plastics from Yamamoto, is they're extremely durable. You know, you don't have to worry about these baits tearing up and ripping. You know, look, you can see I am really pulling on this bait and it is not ripping. So you catch a lot of fish. You know, this is actually a used one here. You can see he's pretty chewed up. Maybe you guys can see it. But I mean, I caught probably 6, 7 smallmouth on that guy right there. And he still could probably rig him up and catch one on it. I just pulled him off and put a new one on there just because he was getting a little beat up. But it is impressive how durable these baits are. They're not going to tear up like some of your other minnows and, you know, get a couple casts, maybe one fish, one bite out of a bait. That's not going to be the case with this. So that's just another added bonus to the fat shad-shaped worm. And then obviously all the great color selection. You know, for me with this bait, I'm looking to imitate shad. It's literally called the shad-shaped worm. So I'm looking for my shad colors. You know, I really like the electric shad color. That's always one of my favorites. Probably my #1 choice, if I had just one color choice, would be this one here, the green gizzard color. This is an excellent option anytime you're trying to imitate that shad. Cleaner water. I like the green gizzard. Man, I can't even talk. Another option that I really like, this would be for that little bit dirtier water. When you're looking for more of a, you know, kind of a brighter color. This one's called Stealth Blue Glimmer. It's kind of a clearish white with some blue glitter in it, but this is a great option. You know, this is an excellent trailer if you're putting on the back of like a shad colored chatterbait. It kind of has that white hue that blends in with the rest of the bait. So this is an excellent option right here, but you can't go wrong with any of the colors that Yamamoto makes, but those are a few of my favorites right there. If you guys needed any help with color selection. Now, if I was going up north, smallmouth fishing, looking for a bigger bait, you know, I'd go with more of the green pumpkin or the goby color to kind of imitate that perch or goby or bluegill, whatever it may be, and kind of, you know, match the hatch, if you will. So you always want to be matching what you think the bass are eating. But like I said, majority of the time I'm throwing this bait, I'm trying to imitate a shad, especially right now, this time of year, I'm throwing it on a jig head minnow. I'm actually, as soon as we're done with this video, I'm about to hitch up the boat and head down to the lake and go catch me a few on the fat shad-shaped worm. So appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Leave me those likes and comments down below. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.